Welcome back, Earthlings. I know I keep saying it, but I have such exciting plans for this YouTube channel, and it's the new year, kind of, and I'm motivated and ready to get started. With that being said, today I have a very exciting video for you. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 best Hubble photos of all time. Let's start off with some quick background. The Hubble Space Telescope is a telescope in space that's orbiting Earth at over 17,000 miles per hour. Hubble photographs in ultraviolet, visible, and near-infrared light, so it's a little bit more than our eyes can see on both ends of the visible light spectrum. Hubble has produced science that has changed our understanding of the universe, probably most notably that it calculated the rate at which the universe is expanding. And while doing all of that science, it's also captured stunning images for scientific observation and also for us to look at. So without further ado, these are the 5 best Hubble Space Telescope photos of all time. Coming in at number 5, Hubble's photographs of Pluto's moons. Pluto has a moon named Charon that's similar in size, and they always face each other because they're tidally locked. It's very romantic. Pluto has 5 total moons, and all but the biggest one were discovered through Hubble photos. The most recent one wasn't discovered until 2012. Hubble was also able to track all of these moons' orbits and wobbles, which are incredibly chaotic because Pluto and Charon have such similar masses that they actually orbit a common center of gravity, so Charon doesn't orbit Pluto, they orbit each other. This makes the smaller moons go crazy, which is why some of them have really weird shapes. So the actual photographs aren't awesome, but they are meaningful, and I think it deserves a spot at number 5 because it's an actual discovery from Hubble. And without these images, we probably wouldn't have known about these moons of Pluto until New Horizons flew by in 2015. Moving on to number 4, Hubble's photos of protoplanetary disks. Before Hubble data, astronomers weren't totally sure how planets formed around stars. Some astronomers thought it was a sphere of dust completely around the star. But we knew our solar system was on an ecliptic, which is a pretty flat disk. Hubble photos showed the first photos of protoplanetary disks after only 2 years of sending images. And in 1994, from Hubble photographs, astronomers were able to confirm that there were disks of dust around new stars. These photos are critical not only to our understanding of stellar evolution and planet formation, but also to how we got here. This is what a protoplanetary disk looks like. You can see the line of dust and then the star peeking out from behind it. This dust orbits the star and then coalesces into planets like Earth. We're moving on to the top 3, which are all prettier. Coming in at number 3 is the Veil Nebula. This is one of the most beautiful images from the Hubble Space Telescope. It looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. This is a section of the expanding remains of a star that exploded about 8,000 years ago. The entire nebula is 110 light years across, covering 6 full moons in the sky as seen from Earth. But this image only covers about 2 light years across. Look here where you can see filament shapes like in the close-up image. What you're seeing is the collision between the blast wave and dust and gas. And the colors in the image correspond to elements, which makes it easier to understand what's happening and study the image. Coming in at number 2, one of the most famous space images of all time, the Pillars of Creation. This is a section of the Eagle Nebula, and it's been nicknamed the Pillars of Creation for a couple reasons. First of all, they look magical, but also these pillars are stellar nurseries, which means that stars are forming out of this dust and gas. And you can't really see it here, but inside of these pillars are a bunch of baby stars, so they really are the Pillars of Creation. The entire Eagle Nebula stretches about 70 light years, and the pillars themselves are about 5, which is incomprehensibly large. Once again, the colors here each represent different elements. I think that this photo alone got so many people interested in and mystified by space that it deserves a spot at number 2. And of course, the best Hubble photograph of all time is the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. I understand that JWST has its own deep fields, but nothing compares to Hubble's. I'm sorry if that's a hot take. It's my take. I stand by it. I could do an entire video just on this image. There are over 10,000 galaxies in this image. Galaxies, each with millions and billions of stars and planets. Except for these ones are stars. If any photo is going to make you feel the vastness of the universe, it's this one. We are a grain of sand in a sea of galaxies. It also shows the different sizes, shapes, and colors of galaxies, the diversity of the universe. This alone can teach us about galaxy evolution. So many important studies have come from this photo alone, and when it was released in 2006, it really should have broken the internet. To try to explain the magnitude of the infiniteness of the universe, this photograph has over 10,000 galaxies, and this photograph in the night sky would only span 1/10 of the size of the full moon. It would take over 12 million deep field images to cover the entire sphere of the night sky. And for all of those reasons, the Hubble Ultra Deep Field is the best Hubble photograph of all time. Please let me know in the comments if there are any amazing Hubble photographs that I missed, or if you agree with all of my selections. You can vote on the topic of my next video on my Patreon. The link will be in my bio. And as always, thank you for joining. That's all. Should I say Earthlings and aliens? Because you never know who's watching. You never know.